all these issues that Egyptians showed? And can we think of Egyptian as an agrarian economy 30 years from now?
Not at all. I think of Egypt as producing enough food for itself, because the development corridors opens 1 million acres for land for agriculture, but it also opens 10 million acres for living space, for all kinds of other things, industry, cities, or whatever it is that you want to develop. So that the corridor is not for agriculture at all, or alone. It's one component of this agriculture. What was the other part of the question?
Is it aiming to push towards Africa more?
To monitor actually, in real life, the extension of this development corridor is a line that goes all the way to Cape Town. This should be something that links Al Alamein on the Mediterranean to Cape Town in South Africa, with a couple of east-west corridors that link all of these countries for Africa to really join the world in trade and everything else. And if you consider that the trade between China and Africa today, both to take things from African resources and then sell products to Africa, China's trade with Africa is 141 billion years during 2010. And the trade with India was 36 billion during the same year, 2010. And the trade with Brazil, see, country way out in South Africa, was 24 billion a year of trade with the countries, within countries of Africa. Egypt's trade with Africa was less than 10 million. So all of these billions, if that corridor goes on like that, and we can link with these African countries, if we can get 1/4 of this trade amount, it would pay for 3 or 4 corridors.
Okay, I have 2 questions for you. For Dr. Baz first. I would like to ask first about your famous article that you published a couple of years ago, mentioning that your generation is a generation of failure.
So, I summarized the generation of failure. This is what I summarized. This is an article about this generation that should be.
Yeah, but my question is, when actually, like, when you were young, your generation, all your generation, were very brilliant, I think, and you mentioned, I think, in your interview with Al Jazeera in 2009, saying that your generation depend mainly on institutions, not individuals. So, since we are the individuals, and we are, I hope that most of the people in this room here are like the most highly educated people that will return one day to Egypt,
right,
and, you know, like develop the country. What's the advices that you have for us? That's my first question. The second question is regarding the developing corridor. So after your meeting, I think with our Prime Minister 2 weeks ago, there were a couple arguments that were raised about the developing corridor from different perspectives, even from experts that the public in Egypt describes them as experts like Dr. Mamdouh Hamza, Dr. Al-Qassas, and they were claiming that the developing corridor is not the right project for Egypt right now. And I believe that the main 2 points that saying that the west bank of the Nile is higher than the right bank, and we need huge generators to move the water, like the Toshka generator. And the second one is, I think the type of soil is not appropriate for agriculture. They describe it as like limy soil, turba gireya. So, and then a couple of people created Facebook groups asking for debates between you and Dr. Mamdouh Hamza. So now, since we are moving in Egypt into the democratic state, how can you convince the public people by a project like this, that we were very motivated, but now people start like asking questions, is it the right one? And I would like to report also something Sarah mentioned in Hisham's book, is about the dictator that has inspirational aspects for the family. As I record, if I recall correctly, Nasser, when he built the high dam, there was a lot of rejections to the high dam in this time. But now everybody's proud of the high dam. So how can you convince the public by your project, even if it's a huge project, it's a really great project, if the media is against this, or like if some people, especially that you are here, and like people like Mamdouh Hamza, Qassas, and all these people are in Egypt, how can you convince them?
You convince them by data. These people, none of them have read either the book or the article, because they say he wants to raise agriculture on top